Choosing between Dallas suburbs can feel pretty overwhelming before you've even booked your flight, and I've pulled the best parts from 11 driving tours from Dallas all the way up to Melissa and Anna into one guide to help you compare them all, and by the end, you'll have a much clearer idea of which suburbs fit you best. All right, stop number one is going to be Dallas. Now, you've got the skyline out of one window, you've got the water out of the other. I mean, murals down one street, coffee shops nearly every corner. I mean, this is kind of the starting point that every other stop on this list gets compared to. So getting a feel for this part of Dallas makes everything after it land a little bit differently, because we're heading somewhere that feels nothing like this, and you'll see some of my favorite areas. So let's go check out Dallas.
All right, now we're gonna start out here on Main Street and in the Deep Ellum corridor, which is one of my favorite spots in all of the downtown Dallas area. You'll notice as we move into Deep Ellum is kind of composed of 3 different streets: Commerce Street, Main Street, and then Elm Street. And you'll just see everything old, historic, boutique shops, little restaurants, hidden gems, all kinds of cool stuff. And you'll notice all the street art. I think they said there's over like 150 street murals just in the Deep Ellum area. So again, this is known as the artsy part of town. During the day, though, you're going to get people coming from downtown, or even people that just come here to visit and hang out. But also, like, this was the jam back in the 90s. You know, the thing about Dallas downtown is I think it's kind of quiet. You know, it's kind of sleepy. Yeah, you go to Chicago, New York. I mean, those places are just buzzing and humming and people everywhere. I look off to the left and there's like nobody on that block right now. There's not people waiting at the crosswalks. And, you know, we're in the middle of the day. This is a weekday. So all of these office buildings, you know, are filled with people. You know, the restaurants, you know, like that being empty is just, it's odd to me. You know, you go to downtown, like I said, Chicago, New York, Colorado, Austin even. I mean, Austin, there's people everywhere in their downtown. So just interesting. I just described Dallas as a very kind of sleepy downtown during the day. Now, a lot of this place picks up at night, again, because there's, you know, of course, the bar scene and the club scene in Deep Ellum. So, you know, but it's interesting. But if you're working down here, also, here's the other thing, why you probably don't see a lot of traffic on the streets, is there's a complete underground system here in Dallas. So a lot of these office buildings over several city blocks, there's a whole entire city underneath the city of Dallas. Here we're passing by the old courthouse. Like, this is original here, that's been restored, of course, over the many years. Founders Plaza in this area, and we're about to be coming up on Dealey Plaza, and really just this was the main center of where Dallas began, like in the 1800s. So really cool spot. But yeah, even our downtown is pretty, I would say, spaced out quite a bit. And now, as actually, you want to see where JFK was shot? That's actually, that's one street over, isn't it? Yeah, it's one street over on Elm Street. So we're coming up here. Right in front of us, you'll see the old book depository. That's where the 6th floor museum is at. Of course, where they say Lee Harvey Oswald was the lone gunman. What else? Actually, all that stuff came out. I know they released all that stuff. I didn't look too much into it, but you got to let me know in the comments. Was Lee Harvey Oswald, was he alone, or I don't think so. I don't think so. All right, now we're moving into one of my favorite. Actually, you're gonna just hear me say that a lot. Every neighborhood we go to, and be like, well, this is one of my favorites in Dallas. But we're kind of on the outskirts of Bishop Arts. We're on Davis Street, and you'll see there's Crescia's, whatever, the social club, Party of Five, all these cool little just boutique shops, restaurants. You got Mas Chingon, Stock and Barrel, nice little whiskey spot. Tacos, little taco stand, that's pretty cool. Let's Fiesta. And then you got the shortest turn lane, and it doubles as 2 ways. Shortest turn lane ever. Oh, Lockhart's Smokehouse, Lockhart Barbecue, really good. T3 Barrels, this is another cool spot, cool little bookshop. I would put Lockhart in my top 5 barbecue spots, by the way, that you gotta come to in Dallas. The Bishop Exchange, that's a cool little bar here. There's a couple of restaurants down this way that are nice, but all these buildings 100+ years old. All right, now we're coming up on West Dallas, or also known as Trinity Groves. I'm not gonna turn down that way, but you'll see, because I really want you to see this drive into Dallas. But just right on the other side here, lots of bars and restaurants. Probably one of the coolest spots is Beto and Son, which is a little Tex-Mex spot. And they have like nitrogen margaritas, and it's a work day, so I'm not gonna partake. Otherwise, we'd probably stop over there and get one. But anyways, it's amazing. And then you have this drive into Dallas on this bridge, which is super cool. It's just an epic shot of downtown. And when you make this drive at night, we're crossing over the Trinity River, which, by the way, they finally are going to start to develop part of this into a park. I mean, this has just been misused forever. I mean, underused, not used at all. It's just a real shame. We've got the Trinity River running through downtown Dallas area, and we don't take advantage. You go to Austin, and Austin really maximizes their outdoor spaces there. So they're finally approved a multi-$100 million project to start redeveloping that. I want to go up McKinney Avenue because we're going to hit up Uptown next, but we're about to go under the park. And by the way, it's Clyde Warren Park. So this is what amazes me. They built this park over the highway, which is fascinating to me. And you know, as far as I remember, it didn't shut down traffic. I mean, yeah, you might have had some delays here and there, but they never shut down the highway completely. Built an entire park over the highway, which, by the way, this was just a little dip. And I think it's a great utilization of space within the city. It's an amazing park. People love to go there and hang out. There's splash pads for the kids, food trucks, whatever you need. You can definitely spend the day there. They've got some live music from time to time, and overall, it's a cool spot right here in the middle of the city, but it's a great way to maximize park area, green space. We're underneath the park right now. We're gonna be coming up on McKinney Avenue. This is an amazing street. Of course, everything you could imagine. Very popular restaurants, condos, bars, day life, nightlife, whatever you need is all on McKinney Avenue. And again, they still have the trolley that goes around. Looks like building a new tower off to the right. And again, this is the young professionals' haven right here. This is where all the attractive people. All right, now we're heading into the Knox-Henderson neighborhood, and this is a pretty popular spot as well. Again, one of my favorite locations, because if you go down the other side of 75, if you take a right here, you're gonna go over 75, and that's gonna become Henderson Avenue, and that is gonna take you into Old East Dallas, which I love. I still got a couple properties there. I love that area. We talk about moving back all the time. But now we're in the Knox part of Knox-Henderson. Boutique shops again, restaurants, even the Starbucks is cool. And again, you got Pottery Barn. We just passed the Apple Store, Lululemon, Lovesac. Yeah, Starbucks. Even the Starbucks looks kind of cool. Bowl and Branch. Greenpoint Seafood and Oysters are putting in a new high-rise right here. Now we're kind of entering into Highland Park. And again, the Beverly Hills of Dallas, Texas. And they've got 3 or 4 massive buildings going in right now. Wow. Those are even kind of hidden on the backside there. New townhomes going on right there. Those are going to be luxury. I would bet probably $1.5 to $2 million just on those. But we're gonna head up Armstrong, and this is gonna give you a really good view of Highland Park. You'll see here, you still have some small homes in here, but they're still not gonna be you're not gonna find anything less than $3 million, and that could be for a 2,500 square foot home. maybe 2.5 if you're lucky. But, I mean, these homes are just beautiful. A lot of these homes in Highland Park, 100, 150 years old, huge crepe myrtle trees everywhere, oak trees lining the streets. I mean, look at these canopies. That's what I really love about Dallas too. It's all these trees. You go up north to all the new construction neighborhoods and there's like no trees. All right, so now we're taking left on Preston, but we'll be heading north on Preston from Armstrong Avenue. And you'll even see if it's behind gates, that's a massive estate there. But again, look at all these trees. It's amazing. Every single home in here, I think, is something exceptional. And then you got Highland Park Village. This is known for luxury shopping at its best, but this is also the birthplace of the outdoor strip shopping mall. This was the first one in America. At least that's what it says online, and you got to believe the internet, right? So yeah, this is like the birthplace of outdoor shopping. And like I said, this kind of looks like a Rodeo Drive or something like that, but you got the old Highland Park Village Theater back here as well. I'm not sure if they still do any shows over there, but I'm sure they do it for something. All right, so now we're crossing over Mockingbird again, but we're going south on Greenville Avenue. And again, this is just, I love these neighborhoods. You're gonna come through here and you've got neighborhoods like Vickery Place, the M Streets. Of course, there's several streets that all start with the letter M. And you just run down here, you're gonna see, again, a lot of historic homes, 100, 120-year-old homes, Tudors, Craftsman, bungalows. And then Greenville is a mix. You're gonna find a few little apartments here or there. Most of the homes are on the side streets, and then you've got all this commercial. All right, now we're gonna be taking a left here on Swiss Avenue. And Swiss Avenue is a historic street. You can see massive trees, and all the estates are amazing. It's kind of like a little piece of Highland Park or Preston Hollow down here in Old East Dallas. Every single one of these homes, I believe I love every single one of them. They're just all in their own unique way. And in 2020, one of these homes came up for sale. Really, really good deal. And but I didn't pull the trigger on it, and now that home is doubled in value. You see here people out walking the dogs. All these homes are just amazing. Large yards. A lot of these are half acre, 3/4 of an acre lots, 150-year-old homes. Some of these homes are on the historic register by themselves as well. So really, really cool street. This huge median in the middle, which is nice, but just massive trees. And then you get out and you're right in the middle of everything. You got a Whole Foods down here. You've got the Lakewood Country Club. You've got Gaston Avenue. You got White Rock Lake down not too far from here as well. And this home right at the end with that green roof, that one is up for sale, or maybe it's sold, but it was up for sale for about $3 million.
All right, stop number 2 is going to be Frisco, and most cities take generations to build an identity, but Frisco did it in about 20 years. So growing from really open farmland into one of the most talked about zip codes in the entire state of Texas. And after seeing a suburb grow that fast, I mean, it takes us somewhere that's been built around the same historic block for more than 100 years.
We're coming right down Main Street, and this is the historic downtown Frisco, and you've got cool shops and restaurants. You'll see it's completely torn up right now, just like everything else in Frisco is under construction. Even though this place has been under construction for 20 plus years, they're expanding this whole road. But you see you've got the old historic homes that are now turned into boutiques and law offices or the steakhouse. And then we cross over at 5th Street and Main Street. You've got the Blushing Bride Boutique. You've got another little spot over there. You've got CrossFit Low and the Secret Med Spa. It's not so secret if they got a big sign out front, is it? And Summer Moon Coffee, one of my favorite coffee spots in all of the Frisco area. They're tearing all this up. Right behind that, they are finishing out what they're calling the Rail District. You can see some of these older buildings. Of course, they want to maintain the facades and keep that historic charm here. And again, widening all of this. And on the corner over here, you're going to have Haystack. This is one of the best burger spots in Frisco as well. And I know these businesses have taken a little bit of a hit because of all this construction. It's been going on for quite some time. Little birdies over there, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and right back off these silos, so to speak, on this side is the Frisco's Farmer Market. This is going to be Roller Town and Beer Works. So they're building a whole new brewery right there. And then we're moving to sort of the newly developed section of Main Street. And so we just passed through all the historic part. Now, what we're going to be coming up on is, well, first of all, you got apartments throughout here, some retail shops and businesses on the first floor. And we're going to cross over to Frisco Street, and off to the right you see some people playing soccer, because you also have the National Soccer Hall of Fame right here in Frisco, Texas. Then you have FC Dallas, which is our Major League Soccer team that plays, and then you have the newly developed downtown Frisco area. As far as the older part, clearly there's more developed spots of Frisco, but you can see how they're building all of this, and that's spurred by really FC Dallas coming in right there in the Soccer Hall of Fame. And now we're heading up north on Legacy, which is one of the major roads running throughout Frisco. Now we're merging onto the Dallas North Tollway, which is always interesting. A lot of construction on the Dallas North Tollway currently here in Frisco, and you can see as I get on, the whole left lane is blocked out right now. But as we move towards Universal, which the Universal Kids Resort, by the way, is really set a buzz up here in the Frisco area. I mean, a Universal theme park in the Dallas area. And now this is not just any theme park, it's a water park, which is super cool. Okay, now we're also passing to the right is Firefly Park. Before we get over to Phil's West, Firefly Park is going to be massive development. Probably, I think 45 acres is what that's planned for. Tons of green space, shopping, dining, restaurants, mixed use, multifamily, large buildings. All of that is going to happen all on that right hand side, that open field. They're paving everything out right now, which that I'm super excited about, especially all of this development along 380 with Northfields and Firefly Park, Universal, all right in this area. Plus now you have the PGA, which by the way, we're coming up on the PGA district and the PGA headquarters. So that's the big buildings you see off to the front left there. And you've got two championship golf courses right off on the left-hand side. So all of that is happening right there, and that's ready to go. And the PGA district, you can go over there. They've got golf simulators, they've got driving ranges, this giant lawn, putt-putt, practice golf you can do there, and plus the Omni Hotel. So that's what you're looking at. Right off to the right is the Omni Hotel, and that is attached for everything that happens with the PGA. So you got access to some really great views, Apron Restaurant inside of there, great little spot for brunch. We've been there. They make some killer drinks, have a little breakfast buffet. Kids eat free, by the way, which is nice. You can take them over there and get them all up in that buffet. Now we're actually inside the Fields development. PGA is part of that. Fields West off to the side, which is going to actually be on this next intersection, is where the main section of that. And then of course you got the Star District. The Star District, where the Cowboys practice and the Cowboys headquarters, has always been a hot spot for Frisco. Now the whole Star District down there, restaurants and bars and shops, and you got the Cowboy Club, Cowboy Fit, one of the most expensive and nicest gyms around. But hey, you might be in there and catch a football player here and again. You go to the Cowboy Club, exclusive membership dining experience. I've had dinner there a couple of times. It's really nice. Now we're moving into the development of the Fields, where you see the residential aspects. Now we're going to be coming up off to the right hand side, which is the Preserve. Now the Preserve is completely gated, the only gated section here within the Fields, but this is going to be minimum $4 million to get inside. And now we're going to move into some of the more developed area in the Fields, and you've got, you know, like Parkside Villas at Fields if you're looking for luxury without the maintenance of a large property. And this is an incredible lock and leave lifestyle lifestyle. So the Newport beach-inspired luxury villas start about 1.3 million and feature innovative front yard living concepts with beautifully curated outdoor spaces, and also anywhere from 3 to 4 bedrooms with 2,500 to 3,500 square feet. Some of these are more along the lines of the Fields 40 and 50 foot lots. Some of these are going to be 60. They kind of spaced them throughout here. You've got homes that are going to be in the 700, 800, 900, and then over a million, million and a half. You see they're still placing because you've got builders like Britland and Toll Brothers. And then coming out to the middle here, this is a nice little park area. One of them just scattered throughout. There's going to be a ton of green space all throughout Fields, but you can just see the variations of the homes. But the 40 and 50 foot lots, I mean, you're not going to really find much here less than 700,000, even with the villas. And most of those are even moving up in price as they start to sell out more. Now you'll see different variations. Some of these are luxury duplexes, and then you've got more of like the townhome single family feel, you know, the taller, skinnier version of some of these homes on the 40-foot lots. You can see right here, that one just sold. That's kind of a cool looking one right there, that white and black, which is a interesting take. But overall, all these different variations, and they're packing them in here though, but still, they're gonna have so much to do inside of here. And you've got the amenity centers, and then this is the model home roll. So this will show you a little bit of everything. This is one of the examples of the luxury duplexes off to the right. You got a couple of versions of that. Now we'll come down here and kind of show you the last part of this before we wrap this up, and you can see the different styles of the homes throughout here in the builders. And then we'll come down and you'll see the model home row where they have a few lots left with a lot of these builders. Most of them have been sold out through these phases, and like I mentioned, the builder on the backside that's in the 1.3 to 1.7 range, they pretty much got a lock on the whole rest of the community. You've got Britton, you've got the Toll Brothers, you've got Shattuck over there, and then on this side you've got Olivia Clark, you've got Darling, you got Huntington, which that's really high end for the Highland homes. That's their luxury series right there. We've toured that home. Actually, we've toured all of these homes. They're on the channel. You can find all of those videos. And then you have the amenity center. This is known as the Brookside Club, which is super nice. And you have access to the pool area.
All right, stop number 3 is going to be McKinney, and you can walk through a part of town that really feels a little frozen in time, you know, and then drive a few minutes and end up in a neighborhood that didn't exist even just a year or two ago. And that's kind of McKinney's whole personality in one drive, and really that same growth that keeps pushing north straight into the town everyone across Texas has really started talking about.
All right, so we're heading east on 380 right now, and we just crossed over Coit Road, which in between Coit and Preston is kind of the border of Prosper and McKinney. And the 380, which we're on right now again, is pretty well built out, and it has been because of the tollway. In between McKinney and the tollway has been in place for quite some time. Now, once you hit the tollway and you go west towards Prosper and those other areas, that's where it's been a complete nightmare for the past many years, actually, because it's been a 2-lane road, a 1-lane road, and now they're starting to build all the overpasses. So they're going to turn 380 into much of what you're kind of seeing right now as we go down, which is 3 lanes on both sides. We just crossed over right before we're about to cross Custer Road into this. There's pretty established businesses on this section. We got a Walmart Supercenter right off to the right, Lowe's right off to the left, some of your chain restaurants, Burger King, Taco Bueno. And then right on the other side of this intersection, we still got, you know, an open quarter lot. So still quite a bit of development opportunities in the McKinney area. But probably the most interesting right now, the biggest buzz is right off to the right. Looks like that might be open now, is McKinney's first Whole Foods market. And that one looks pretty nice and pretty massive. They also just added this Chick-fil-A, which is a staple for a lot of people. Velvet Taco, that's a really great local taco shop. More strip mall area getting built into that. All right, so as we drive into Painted Tree, you can look at all this construction that's happening right now. Off to the left-hand side, they're still building there. So, and this is probably one of the most popular spots in all of McKinney, if not North Texas right now as well. You have about 1,100 acres. It's a trailside community that's ranked as the #1 best-selling community for the entire Dallas-Fort Worth area in 2025 so far. So they sold about 330 homes just in the first 6 months of 2025. I think we might have sold half of those, which is always fun. But you can see here, we just passed up one of the models. They got some new homes coming in this side. But it's not really just about the homes here. It's a lifestyle that they've really created. The whole community is built around 28 miles of nature trails that connect to McKinney's broader park system. So you can hop on your bike and pretty much access the entire city from here. They've got 3 different pools and rec areas throughout the community. Now home prices are going to start somewhere in the upper 400s for townhomes. You got custom estates nearing 1 million. So you got a pretty broad range there. You get your pick of more than 10 builders. Who do you got? You got Bloomfield, you got Drees, Trophy Signature, Coventry, CB Jenny, and several others. And each neighborhood really has its own feel. So Lakeside has water views, Woodland has bigger lots with mature trees. And to put this in perspective, the median home price for McKinney overall sits around $547,000, which is a pretty good value compared to neighboring suburbs like Frisco or even Plano. But now we're starting to enter into some of the historic neighborhoods before we head into a historic downtown. So you'll start to see a nice variety of 100-year-old homes throughout. This is my favorite part of McKinney. I can't wait. Look at that. Look at that amazing Victorian house right there on the corner. A little too pink for me, but you know, hey, you could always repaint. Got a nice craftsman, huge craftsman over on the right-hand side. Then you got some that could still use a little work, but overall, look at this huge craftsman on the corner here, large lot. And that home over on that corner, beautiful as well. A lot of these are just showpieces, time capsules almost built over here in this historic section. Now you got 2 main streets for the historic downtown, which is West Virginia Street, which is what we're on right now. It's a one-way heading away from downtown McKinney. We're about to do a quick little U-turn and then we'll head down Louisiana Street, which is a one-way towards downtown McKinney. But I wanted to capture just a little bit of this section of this historic area just to give you a good variety of the homes in the area. And again, just even driving down these streets is one of my favorite things whenever we visit Old Town McKinney, just like we're about to do. I'm always just looking at these houses, finding something new. You've got homes with really nice manicured lawns. You've got some that still could use a little help. All right, now we're on Louisiana Street. Look at that. That's a cool little craftsman for sale right there on the corner. Nice trim. They got an older one right there. I've checked out a lot of these homes. Nice little yards in the area. I still have no idea what this phone booth, this whole like London phone booth is doing out there, but I'm sure there's some story behind that. That one looks like it could probably use a little work, but also looks in pretty good. Looks like they're trying to restore it right now. You got some old cars sitting there. Look at that. What is that? A Buick. A Buick? There you go. Alex is the car guy. Look at these massive trees, though. That's the other. I mean, that's what makes these old communities, to me, I think, just part of that charm. And then you start to break into Old Town McKinney. Now, this is really cool. Ham's Meat Market. Great burgers. I mean, amazing. Collective Coffee. Man, we should probably stop in there for a coffee right now. Of course, you got the old courthouse, the square. You've got the Celt, little Irish bar, Layered coffee shop over off to the other side. We like to go there for brunch. And yeah, last couple of Saturdays we've actually spent over here. We've sometimes we go out to Alex's house. Actually, he lives about 25 miles past this. The McKinney's Farmer Market as well, you know, really, really popular, but only open on Saturdays until noon. And that's walking distance from here. But this is the most extensive historic downtown area in all of North Dallas and one of the coolest and busiest. So you come down here Saturday, Sunday, it's going to be people everywhere, all over the place, coming out of the market, going to brunch, getting some drinks, a couple of little wine shops around here. Your boutique shops, antique shops right inside there. I was looking at Looking at some nice watches inside of Barron's old place right there. There's Layered off to the right. And then, of course, a couple little coffee shops nestled around. I haven't been to Square Burger, which is on the square, by the way. All right, now we're coming down Airport Drive. So the McKinney National Airport, which they're about to do some massive expansion on as well. And what they're doing here could completely transform this entire area. Now on July 18th, they just officially broke ground, and it's going to be the construction site for a $72 to $80 million passenger terminal expansion. So this isn't really just some minor upgrade. I mean, we're talking about a brand new 46,000 square foot facility with 4 gates. And that can be expanded to 6 and 980 spaces for parking. Here's the deal, like it's designed to handle over 1 million travelers per year as the demand grows. And the airport expansion is something Frisco, Prosper, and really the other North Dallas suburbs, can't match. All right, now we're coming up on the Southlake Park area, probably one of the biggest parks and most popular here in the McKinney area. You can see they got the baseball fields over that we're passing right now. Pretty much everything you need, and it looks like they have a new housing development, the Enclave, going on right there. So gonna be some grand homes. Gonna have to check that out here next go around. Looks like we got some people out there playing around. This is a 108-acre park with a 22-acre lake right here in the heart of McKinney. Now in 2025, they've made some pretty recent improvements in here, and so you can see how massive the park is. That looks like a really cool playground area there. It's got a little bit of cover, but lots of tree cover as well. The shade helps out quite extensively. In the summertime, that's what you need. And if I cut this way, you see this lake right here, smack dab in the middle. Picnic tables around here, well shaded. And of course, you can see all the construction nearby. That's McKinney Light Walk, which is an artistic lit up trail they're finishing up by the end of the year. And the Light Walk is something you usually only see in the big cities, but it's going to be a game changer for everything recreation here. So think holiday lights meets art installation, really creating this unique nighttime experience. All right, so a little bit about McKinney. It's got just about over 2,800 students and has an A rating on niche.com, and it's in the top 10% of school districts in the entire state. So the district's graduation rate is over 97%.
All right, stop number 4 is going to be Celina. And right now, Celina is growing so fast, it's been named the fastest growing city in all of America a couple of times now. And, just a few minutes south, you'll find that that same growth, but with a much higher price tag. So you're going to find some better price points in Celina, but let's go check it out.
So we're just kind of rolling through Mosaic real quick. I'm just going to do a quick little circle around here. You can see the amenity center is completely under construction, but that's going to be finished out pretty soon. You can see a couple of phases have already completed in the Mosaic community. This has been one of the more popular communities that has popped up here in Celina, and they've already run through a couple of phases and still got plenty of room to build. Got the elementary school we just passed off to the side, but I do want to show you as we come out of Mosaic. First of all, you're going to notice we're coming up on open field, and you're still going to see a lot of open fields throughout Celina. But here's the deal, you can see some apartments off in the distance. Those are getting built right now, and then right outside of Mosaic here are more apartments. These went up super fast. They're already leasing out on some of these and got 3 or 4 more buildings going up in the back side there to get finished out. But you'll notice, again, open field on the right side, but all of this is going to get filled in. They're going to extend this road. Off to the left, you've got another massive apartment complex that was just completed and is already completely leased out. Then we're coming up on Legacy, which Legacy is one of the most popular streets running through Prosper and Frisco. And if you look down that way and to the right, you're going to see more open field, but I promise this will be a massive development for commercial, at least on the front end. They'll probably throw in some more housing around here, but just looks like empty fields right now, but that's not gonna last that long. We're passing up Creeks at Legacy. This is a pretty established community on that side. And then as we roll up into this one's actually in completion right now. That they've just built this one. I mean, almost it seems like within the last 60 days. This went up super fast. That'll probably be leased out if it's not already leased out. And then we're coming up on the tollway. So you're going to see they've got quite a bit of supplies ready to go in for the infrastructure on the road for this one, and then as we come up on the tollway, you're going to see where it's completely under construction. Off to the right, they just opened up a new HEB. Like, HEB is taking over Celina. There's going to be 3 or 4 locations here. So this one opened up. There's going to be another one off of Legacy Hills development. There's going to be another one on Preston Road. And you can just see everything that's going in play. They open up McDonald's, and then you have the Prosper. So we're also kind of like on the Prosper border. And if you look at Celina and Prosper border, it's kind of zigzags a little bit. But you got the Prosper High School Stadium over on that side, one of them. So lots of development happening right now. And when they complete these overpasses for the tollway, just expect all of this to just blow up even more. And as we head north on the tollway, you're going to run into this all the time, which is construction trucks everywhere, and also just roads completely under development. So that is a little bit of a pain right now to get through here, navigating sometimes through the traffic. But just look at the development of the tollway. This is already cleared out. There are more overpasses going up there. That this is running all the way to 380, but of course 380 through Prosper is built out. The last exit off the tollway right now is First Street, which is the exit right after 380. So once this gets completed, these open fields will really start to develop, because that's just going to create even more of the demand. All right, we're coming in the entrance of Cambridge Crossing right now. And of course, you know, it's got all the amenities that you could ask for in a community. Beautiful landscaping as you drive through here. I mean, really nicely manicured. So something that makes it very appealing. But of course, you've got resort style pool. I mean, an amenity center. You've got homes from the 500,000s to over $1 million. And it's connected to everything with over 8 miles of trails linking different parts of the community, and a planned elementary school right within the neighborhood too. So you can see as we come in, they've kind of used a more traditional, even old English style. You could see when you go inside that amenity center, it's classic, you could say. So they've kind of brought a little bit of the old with the new touch inside this community. And even just we take a turn down this street, you'll see a few of the model homes and the builders. You got Highland, really great builder, beautiful homes, Coventry and Union, Maine, that are right here, right beside each other. And you've got another Highland model right off to the side. But they've got some tennis courts. They've got the playground over here for the kids with some coverings, which is essential for the Texas summers. But now we're going to make our turn into Light Farms and kind of roll through here. You'll see at Light Farms, you got a really nice gas station positioned right outside the community. So that's easy access. You need to get gas. You've got your fire department right there within the community as well. So if anything happens, you got help not too far away, which is really nice. And this has been one of the more popular master plan communities in the Celina area. And you'll see it's pretty well developed. They put in a lot of established trees and vegetation on top of leaving a lot of it in place. So the community feels a little bit older than it actually is, which is really nice too, because that's probably one of my biggest complaints with new construction communities is typically they chop everything down and then they replant all these baby trees. But in Light Farms, it's going to be over 3,100 homes on about 1,070 acres. And it has 25 miles of the trails, actually. It's got 5 pools and an 11-acre sandy beach lake. And you got prices anywhere from the 300s even up to over $1 million. So a pretty significant price range in this community. As we come into Mustang Lakes, another construction truck coming in here just as well. But you can see really nice entrance, lake off to the right, beautiful landscaping. And this won, national award-winning community. They won best community in the country and best amenity center as well. So they've been awarded that in this community. We've got a 12,000 square foot clubhouse in here. I mean, homes are starting around the 500s, going well over 1.2, even 2 million. They've got Huntington homes inside here. They're doing an expansion of 1,700 homes inside of Mustang Lakes as well, which is what they're currently working on. And there's going to be some really nice homes built in that expansion section of Mustang. But otherwise, again, you see all the trees, very well established, and you've got an elementary school. But you come in here into Mustang Lakes, they've got all the model homes in one section. This makes it pretty convenient, especially when we're working with clients. I mean, you've got Highland, you've got Perry, you've got David Weekley, you've got Coventry, Tradition. And then this Huntington home, which we've toured, this Huntington home on its own. This is over a $2 million property. But you can see now they're adding in more of these homes, even just running down this section. And again, with over 1,700 lots still to go. All right, so now we're gonna be making a right on Preston Road and heading north as we head to downtown Celina, historic Celina. You'll see, again, quite a bit of development. All of this is new on the left side, new strip malls. They got a Whataburger, massive development that's happening over on the right side. Again, all that's getting cleared out. And we're coming up on the locations where Costco and everything's gonna be put into place. Costco is expected late 2026. You have Lowe's, that's gonna be 94,000 square feet. That's gonna be around March 2027. And Home Depot is supposed to be July of 2020. So basically you got pretty much everything opening up in 2026. We're gonna come around and head into downtown Celina. I'll make a little loop real quick so you can see it. Mangiamo off to the right. This is an amazing Italian market. Now, Italian's low on my list. Oh, look at that truck. That's an awesome truck right there. You'll see how busy it is. All of these buildings are dating back to early 1900s and they've been restored. On the inside, they've kept the facades on the outside, which I love. A lot of them restored to the period on the inside. And then on top of that, just some good spots. You got Papagayos. Oh, going back to Italian. Like Italian's low on my list. Probably like French is probably last on my list for food, but Italian's down there as well. But Mangiamo, I could eat there anytime. It's just really good Italian. And that's the thing. If you get crappy Italian, it's just not good. This is a massive little candy store. Right off to the right, the kids love that. And then you have all these little boutique shops and restaurants, and this is the main square. Red brick streets still with the pavilion in the middle where they do all kinds of events. Now I do want to take you into this community, which is the Heights. There's actually several different communities that are popping up right here around Old Town Celina, and I think they're pretty unique. Which now they've got a model home open. They've got some of the other homes coming up, but these communities are going to be easily walkable to downtown Celina, which I think is pretty cool. So let's see here. I got Normandy as a builder. Looks like they're going to be kind of more smaller, slender homes, but all these are individual. I looked into this community before. It's been a little while since I did the research on this, so I forgot most of the stats and data on here, but they've made a lot of progress since the last time I was here. This was all mostly flat the last time I came out because I wanted to come out here and do a specific video on the Heights. But they have a couple of these communities right around the downtown. They're going to be building some of these homes. You'll see, take a look, looks like they've got Perry's gonna be in here, Olivia Clark. But you'll see that's kind of more of a traditional looking house. And that's the idea. You see here, it looks like more of a, I would call this like a farmhouse craftsman style. It's kind of like a in between, maybe farmhouse and craftsman had a kid, you know? So they're going with more traditional looks. Okay, but you'll see here, like that's a Craftsman home, brand new construction. Typically, you only see Craftsman homes if they're 100 years old. It's one of my favorite home styles. I love them because you'll find them throughout the historic districts in downtown Dallas area, and even like in McKinney, a lot of those older homes. So you can see, oh, there's an Olivia Clark model that's open. That looks pretty nice. The shutters on there. So they're kind of going for a little bit more of the traditional look on a lot of these homes. And then you have what I would call more like the Texas traditional style here, which is brick, big windows, sometimes the brick with the rock facade, the mix. And now we're heading north on Preston Road again. We're gonna go check out Celina High School. So you can see that. Looks like they're doing some expansion. This is the back side, so the school looks a little smaller, but they're adding on this whole extension on the back. So they're gonna be just building more and more and adding on to this high school. And then of course, got a couple of more on the way. But it's earned an A rating from the Texas Education Agency as well, and it ranks among the top schools in North Texas, and they have a pretty good graduation rate. It's a perfect 100% with students consistently scoring above state averages on standardized tests. Light Farms Elementary is one of the several neighborhood schools where kids can actually walk or bike to class. Then you have Odell Elementary, which serves the Bluewood community and also scores above state average in academics. As I mentioned earlier, they just recently passed a $2.3 billion bond package to fund new campuses and expand the existing ones, making sure that the educational facilities keep pace with the rapid growth. But the district also has invested heavily in technology, STEM programs, fine arts, and they're also providing a pretty well-rounded education for the students.
All right, stop number 5 is going to be Prosper. And at this point, I mean, choosing between all of these areas from a screen 1,000 miles away can start to feel a little difficult. I get that. But of course, that's exactly what myself and the team do every single day, helping people just like you relocate to Dallas every week. And if you want that same kind of deep dive into your move, go ahead, reach out. All of our information is below, or you can scan the QR code for a Zoom call if you want to meet us on Zoom. We'd love to chat. Now, Celina still has stretches that kind of feel like a lot of open land waiting to be built out, but Prosper already feels finished. I mean, right down even to the landscaping, I mean, around town. I mean, this whole tour starts with a little different feel, and then we'll cross over to Fort Worth next.
All right, now we're heading out onto 380, and we're going to be heading west. We just hit the border of Custer Road right there, which is pretty much the border of Prosper.
Now, we're passing up over here. This is the main commercial spot. They really put Prosper on the map. It's Gates of Prosper. You'll see there's a Dick's, a Sporting Goods, there's Walmart's, and they're actually just finishing up a Walmart Supercenter as well. But inside of here, you've got restaurants, you got Panera, First Watch. Maybe we'll stop at First Watch to grab a quick bite, but the other location, Nordstrom Rack, that they're building a whole new section of the Gates of Prosper on that side. This Target right here, and you see we're going over this massive overpass. That's going over Preston Road. So, of course, Preston Road, one of the most exclusive, you could say. Anything along Preston Road is expensive real estate, housing or commercial. And now we're crossing over, or actually under the tollway. You have Cuts right here, and that's a movie theater, dine-in movie theater. That's a cool spot. We typically, if we can get a babysitter, we'll go in there and watch a movie from time to time. But you can see here now widening everything. They're going to be turning this into 3 lanes as well. We got the Cook Children's, not really a good name for a hospital, right? Cook Children's. More strip malls over off to the left-hand side. You got Muya, Burger, Sushi Box, the Veterinarian, you got Dunkin', you got Orthodontics, Hotworks. Hotworks, if you don't know about Hotworks, everything is like inside of a hot box or like a sauna. Like you can do your biking, your treadmill, like any type of exercise you want to do, basically you can do it inside a sauna. Yoga, Pilates. So basically you go in there and just sweat your tail off. Although you could just do that walking outside here in Texas sometimes. Now, we're gonna turn up 423, and again, you've got all this commercial space here. And by the way, just even a stone's throw away on the other side is
Costco. So they just opened up that first Costco in Prosper. I don't know, I'd have to look. It's on the border, I would say, of Prosper and Little Elm. So I don't know what the official address is. So it could be Prosper or Little Elm. I don't know everything all the time. And then inside of here, you got LA Fitness for a good gym. Little gym that's pretty inexpensive. And then we got First Watch. They do breakfast, brunch, and lunch. All right, now we head north a little bit on 423. It's going to turn into Fish Trap Road. Off to the left-hand side is one of the phases of Windsong Ranch. So you're going to see how massive this place is. That's one of the first phases that went in many, many years ago. We got another phase off to the right that's called Anthem. This one over here is called Crosswater, and some of the first homes that were built inside of Windsong. So we're gonna be heading up here and taking a right in just a minute on First Street, which finally they completed First Street. 2 lanes each direction. That place has been a nightmare the last couple of years. Single lanes each way, terrible road. Now we take a right. We're right in the middle of Windsong Ranch, basically on the west side border, other than that community that's on the other side. Off to the left, you'll see there's over 600 acres inside of Windsong Ranch just of green space. So all of this green space will not be developed because that's part of the green space of Windsong Ranch. Nice little pond. I mean, they've got a couple of these ponds scattered throughout. You might be able to see some of the walking trails. Over 30 miles of paved trails that you can walk, bike. And just on the other side of this is the crystal clear blue lagoon. I mean, Windsong really started that trend of having like your own Caribbean beach, white sandy beach. They actually brought in real white sand, which is amazing. And what I love about that pool is it's not chlorinated. They use a reverse osmosis filtration system that sanitizes the water. All right, so now we're at the corner of First Street and Till Parkway. Till Parkway, headed down. Once you cross 380, you'll run into the PGA headquarters. We're now at the eastern border of Windsong Ranch. This is pretty much where it ends, although they're building another phase, one of the final phases up this road and off to the right on the other side of Teal. But you can see off to the right is the new Richland Prosper High School, and it is massive. I mean, that thing is really something else. You got one of the middle schools, Rushing Middle School, right here, and then they just opened up another middle school on the back side of Windsong Ranch. And there's 3 elementary schools inside of Windsong Ranch that if you're in Windsong, your kids will go to one of those 3 schools on top of it. Off to the left here is, good old Rock Creek Church. That's actually where we go to church at, and they are building this new building, which is pretty massive. It's amazing to see because we've been in this smaller building for a couple of years. So it's really cool to see them expanding as well. But we are sitting at the corner of First and Legacy. A star trail is diagonal to us in the northeast corner. We're gonna cruise through there a little bit and you can just kind of see what's going on in there. They really kind of created a little bit of a luxury experience here without the gates. And so you've got some of the high end, but you still got some affordable pricing in here starting around the 700s. Over to 1.5 million. I mean, Windsong probably going to be around 850 minimum. You might find something in the mid 7s. Maybe it's going to be on the smaller side. And whenever I say smaller side, I mean like 3,000 or 3,500 square feet. I don't think many homes in Windsong go less than 3,500 square feet. So most of them are good size in there. And you'll see, again, Star Trail just pretty well established. Regular homes throughout here. You've got Highland is a builder. You've got Toll Brothers, Coventry, American Legend, Britain Homes. They got 55, 65, 75 foot lots running through here. There's still a couple of build opportunities throughout, but otherwise mostly going to be established areas and neighborhoods. They've got a 5,800 square foot clubhouse here, and we're going to take a right back onto Frontier Parkway. And on the right, again on the right, massive open field, more development to come. And then you can see off in the distance a little bit, that is Prosper High School. And that's the stadium is what you're seeing, which is massive. Off to the left, more retail shops that have just opened up. They all completely filled out. Oh, by the way, Abbott's Custard. That's a great milkshakes right there if you want to do that. You've got Frontier Park off to the right. This is a pretty cool area. Really good playground for the kiddos. You got a little splash pad going on, so you can see here. Yep, full park covered. That's really great for this Texas heat in the summertime. Covered area. They've got like regular kids, and then they even have like a little tiny toddler section that is more friendly for them to play on. A walking trails, all paved. Pavilion, looks like somebody's doing a birthday party out there right now. A little walking bridge, baseball fields, you know, everything. This is all part of the public park here for Prosper. This is the main one, the big one, Frontier Park. And then boom, look at that. That's what we're talking about. Friday night lights right there. Let me just pull in there, give you some context on these stadiums. I'm driving in here, so massive. But football in Texas, it's the real deal. Friday night lights. This place on Friday night is packed. They got cops directing traffic. I mean, it's pretty much same as a college game almost. So, I mean, this is like a 30,000 person stadium. Pretty big. You got to get your tickets. I mean, bring your date here. Whatever you gotta do, but it's a good time. And then the park, like I said, you can walk, ride your bike, ride your scooters, ride your Surons. That's what they're called, by the way. Surons, those Billini bikes. Now we hit the overpass, and we're gonna be heading back towards Preston Road. Then you head over this overpass, and you can see Prosper High off to the right. Massive. More of it just keeps going on. They won a few state championships. And of course, Prosper, I mean, it's got a rating from niche.com, from Texas Education Agency. They've got a 99.1% graduation rate. That's pretty good. So it's growing pretty fast. 4 campuses, as I mentioned earlier. They've got Jana Thompson Elementary and Vergie Witt, I think, elementary, yeah, and Pete Mosley Middle and Richland High, and so that's like 27 campuses, over 28,000 students within Prosper High right now. So all the A ratings everywhere. I think average SAT scores are well over 1,000, and they're doing quite a bit of investment into the programs in the school. I think they just read they're spending about $14 million on renovations on some of the schools just to be able to bring some more programs.
All right, stop number 6 is going to be Southlake, and Southlake is kind of what you get when a town has almost no room left to build. And so with that limit in mind, the next stop really kind of shows what life looks like when the water becomes the main reason people choose to live there, but also access to the airport and central to Dallas and Fort Worth. So of course we're kicking off our tour right here in Southlake Town Square. You can see as we drive through the many beautiful shops that they have through here. And I did a quick little scroll through here, or stroll, I guess you could say. Would it be, or a drive? I guess it would be. I guess strolling would be when you're walking around. But coming through here first, man, I just noticed, I don't know, do a lot of people not work during the day? Because there's a lot of shopping going on in the middle of a weekday. People hanging out at the patios, people carrying all their shopping bags. But again, I don't know, you know, Southlake is, again, one of the wealthiest neighborhoods you'll find here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So maybe everyone's just independently wealthy and out doing their thing. But you got to keep an eye out for the foot traffic. Lots of pedestrian crossings going through here, but this area, it is popping. And of course, this right here, just to provide you a little context, I mean, it just used to be all open farmland, and now you see you've got this amazing square. You got the park area off to the side. They've got that ready for the holidays. Got Starbucks, of course, and a couple other little coffee shops nestled throughout here. But overall, and you got town hall, so if you need to do anything city related, you've got easy access to do that as well. So yeah, you could easily spend the day here with the family. Plenty to do. Bring the kids. Very family-friendly environment. All right, so here's what most people miss about Southlake is the entire city is really kind of designed around this perfect road. And so we just pulled out of town square there, and now we're going to be heading south on Southlake Boulevard, and it's also known as FM 1709. But once you're in the city limits, everyone just calls it Southlake Boulevard, and this is the main road throughout the town. And so as we drive down, you can see, I mean, we're literally in the middle of the day, and you got, I mean, I wouldn't say the traffic's too bad here, but we're pretty far back on the from the stoplight, but I think we'll make it through just fine. But you'll just notice how, oh, I'm gonna take that yellow light though. You'll notice how everything nicely manicured around here, beautiful trees.
all the buildings. I mean, it all follows just a very nice format of the architecture, and so they make sure that as buildings come up around here, they got to follow a certain design pattern. But overall, you can see we're going to head down, and everything is just nice and clean. Of course, coming up here, we're going to be passing up Southlake Carroll Senior High School. You'll see part of it right there on the side, and this is probably one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people and big names want to move to the area as well. I mean, this is one of the top ranked schools in all of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, not just Dallas-Fort Worth, but the state and possibly even the nation. Actually, 11 of its schools hold an A rating according to the Texas Education Agency. And so they score like 95 out of 100 and have a graduation rate of 99.7%, which is pretty good, I would say. But this place is massive again, and they take football very seriously here. Multiple state championships. I mean, they're at the top of the list every single year. And off in the back, we've got Dragon Stadium. And as we drive through some of these, the offshoot of these neighborhoods, this is what I love too. Again, you're coming through here, massive trees everywhere. You got just all these older homes with some new construction. You can kind of see there on the right-hand side. They'll do some infill. Actually, that's a newer construction neighborhood, but you'll notice you start to see all these gated entrances. So some of these estates, for example, this one, I'm just gonna turn around real quick, and you can have a nice home just like that one, where it's got its own nice little gate, large lot, probably got an acre or two there minimum. And then you're gonna run across, you can see right there to the right, a little bit of an older neighborhood, but then we come into something like this, which has a lot more newer construction. Clearly, these homes look probably around 5,000 to 7,000 square feet through here. A little bit of that modern transitional design running through here. So you can see all of these homes were probably finished up within the last 5 years easily, but a nice little pocket of a neighborhood that gives you an idea of what may happen where, you know, they're just gonna build, there's probably maybe 15 homes inside of here. Again, you can notice all the big trees, large lots throughout here, and that's what you'll find. You're not going to really find a lot of master plan communities that are hundreds and hundreds of acres. You're going to find just little pockets like this of new construction. You're going to find the pockets of the older homes. Then you're going to find the streets as we drive down a little bit more that are just almost like estates on, you know, everywhere you pass by. So it's a really good mix here. But lot size is definitely something you're going to find quite frequently here in Southlake. And then as we roll back down again, then you'll find some estates here with several acres. You'll find that, and then you see just all these beautiful homes just kind of tucked away back in all these trees. I like that, really off the road. And again, you're 5 minutes from downtown square, and you've got some nice sidewalks, walking trails on the side, somebody taking a nice little stroll throughout here. We have some elevation changes running throughout here, so you see how we're kind of going a little up and down on some hills, just small hills in some of these estates back there. I mean, that one, woo, beautiful. And then you have a little neighborhood, boom, packed off to the side right there, just to give you an idea. And again, trees, trees, and more trees. All right, now we're gonna be heading down Whitechapel Boulevard, and if you wanna see what $5 million can buy you in a compound around this area, this would be the street to do that. So you'll find a few horse farms out here scattered throughout as well. Man, look at those trees, beautiful. Beautiful again, massive gates going into these large estates running through here. Look at those massive homes off to the back. I mean, on each side, look at this one. That's like a giant single story, maybe like an 8,000 square foot home on a single story right there. Very nice. Massive gated entrances. I mean, right next to the couple of horse farms. You got maybe some cattle out here, right? Little old 60s, and then, oh yeah, we got, what is this? What barbecue is this? Yeah, we ate at that barbecue spot there once. Might have stopped back by there again for lunch. And then as you cruise through here again, you're just gonna see more of these massive homes, lots of land, gated entrances. This one, look at this. This is, oh, I can't drive in there, but man, that's a big one right there. New construction, very modern, sticks out like a sore thumb to me. So compared to all these old school, old style homes. That's a beautiful Tudor style there. And you've got this massive church coming up here. Actually, this is like the old school Methodist church on the right. Of course, big campus they've got here. But what we just drove through there on, that's just a lot of old money there. A lot of those homes, of course, have been in the family for generations. And then we're coming right back out to where now we're gonna cross Southlake Boulevard again. And as we cross over Southlake Boulevard, we're gonna be heading into Bicentennial Park, which is one of the bigger parks here in the Southlake area. And we'll pull in here just so you can kind of get a look at this, at the massive water tower off to the right. Look at this, all beautifully landscaped and manicured running throughout here. Let's just go forward a little bit. You'll notice you've got some baseball fields. Off to the right hand side, they've got tennis courts over off to the other side here. And where is everybody? Oh, we got a lot of cars over here. I guess nobody's playing tennis or baseball today, so they must be over here at the playground maybe. We scoot over and they've got this really nice playground for the kiddos. As we cruise by there, you can see they got a lot of coverings on the playground equipment, which is necessary, especially in the summertime. And we'll continue down Whitechapel Road. You'll see, again, older neighborhood off to the side. Newer construction popping up in this community to the left. Looks like a lot of zero lots, pretty much. Pretty big homes for, and you could tell, some small backyards. So I guess you're probably taking the kiddos to the park. And again, we're kind of rolling up the hill, down the hill, and then you'll find like an older small home sitting off to the side. You just know that one's been around for 50 or 60 years. And we'll pass another smaller one of the schools here, one of the elementaries. You got some donkeys off to the right. Again, very common to find that. Just sometimes you got open field, you got large estates, then you got horses and donkeys and maybe some cows, and then you got a neighborhood. I mean, this is very, very country and city, just really kind of mixed together. Now we're coming up on the Bob Jones Park. It's 500 acres. It's got soccer and baseball fields. They've got a fenced-in dog park. They got 700 acres of protected land for hiking and equestrian trails. So you can bring your horses throughout here, go trotting around, winding through all the areas. So that's pretty massive. Look at this home right across the street. I mean, that's a really good indication too, which you'll see in Southlake sometimes. I mean, that thing is pretty much like a castle right there. Now over on the back side of this neighborhood is Sabre, and let me see, that's one of the bigger corporations here. So they have a pretty big campus, and they're a major tech company, mainly specializing in the travel industry. So it makes sense that they're right here close to the airport. And then of course, TD Ameritrade's not too far from here as well. They run a regional campus that has about 1,800 employees. So you definitely have some corporate execs and positions that are there. All right, now we're gonna jump back on to 114, and again, which is the main highway that splits right through Southlake and is really responsible for all of its massive growth. And you're right by Grapevine Lake, of course, Southlake. That's one of the main reasons, is because you're south of Lake Grapevine. And that's a really fun area. I think it's one of my favorite lakes, especially to hike around, and mountain biked over there as well. You do some mountain biking over there, right? You like the
North Shore.
North Shore? Yep. I've done those trails a couple of times. Challenging as well. They've got a lot of elevation changes and some pretty tough spots going through there.
All right, stop number 7 is going to be Rockwall, and you will see boats parked in driveways, and the pace really kind of slows down as soon as you reach the water side of Rockwall.
We're starting out in San Jacinto Plaza, and it is named after the Battle of San Jacinto, which, by the way, won Texas its independence. And it's been a little spot. It's been the heartbeat of Rockwall for quite some time. You can feel it as soon as you get in. What I love about this place is how it changes really with every season. from May to October, every Friday night and Saturday night. You've got music, live shows here. People pull up chairs, they grab dinner, they walk around with their drinks. The whole plaza turns into this cozy outdoor hangout. I mean, it's a pretty good vibe. So we just passed up Charlie's. That's a great little burger spot that we've gone to. You got Zanata. They've got some really good wood fire pizza there. A nice Italian restaurant. The main courthouse off to the right side. Fable and Fire Bookshop Bistro. That's a really cool spot. It's in this super old building. I mean, all these buildings are old around here, but that one just kind of restored back to the period. Vaulted ceilings in there though, rafters, brick, and it's a great coffee shop. You can also grab some lunch and brunch inside there. Bellevue Bistro. That's a good spot. You can grab some coffee there. Got Trevino's Comida Mexicana, which is a nice little Tex-Mex spot. This is a great little area to come hang out, spend the day. Easily could do that just going in and out of all the shops. And of course, Friday and Saturday night, you come down here and hang out, enjoy the live music. And also right now in the middle of December, I mean, it's beautiful blue skies. I think we're going to hit, 65 today. But yeah, that's why I'm wearing a puffer coat because if it's below 70, we consider that cold here in Texas. And as I come down here, you're going to see really why this is a true lakeside community. You can see the lake off in the distance as we go down this hill. And Rockwall, you get some of this elevation change throughout here, which I really like, especially whenever you get off into some of the neighborhoods. We'll explore a little bit more. As we cut through this neighborhood to get through the back here, I mean, I just wanted you to see a good idea. First of all, look at all the massive trees coming through this neighborhood. But you'll notice a lot of ranch style brick homes throughout this neighborhood. You'll find a lot of this in Rockwall. A lot of it is older community. Most of these homes were built in the 50s and 60s, kind of have a mid-century modern looking style home there. And the rest of these are going to be like 60s, 70s, and 80s ranch style brick homes. Now, some of them will be renovated inside. This one, you can see the brick has been painted. That's usually an indication they've probably done some renovations, but you can get in here in some of these areas in the 3s, the 4s, and 500,000 for some of these older home communities. And then, of course, Rockwall does have quite a few new construction communities. They're not master plan communities, but they will be more like boutique communities. And then, of course, you have the lakefront living as well. You're going to jump up in price, and that's going to definitely cost a little bit more. As we head over to our next destination, you'll see the Rockwall Independent School District Stadium right there, which is pretty big and part of the high school going through this section. A little bit older construction, but still functions as the main school here. That's the middle school, and they got the stadium. But overall, Rockwall, wherever you look, 8, 9s out of 10 on the ratings. So pretty known for a pretty good school district. And we cruise through, and we're going to be heading over to the main park area in Rockwall, and then we're going to hit up a couple of neighborhoods. So 60 acres, a massive lake, multiple pools. They got sports courts, they got amphitheater, disc golf course. I mean, most cities would call this kind of like one of their flagship destinations, but this is just a park in Rockwall. Look at that. Look at that playground right there. Man, that looks like a lot of fun. They got all kinds of stuff. You got to bring the kids over here. And so this isn't too far from downtown. I mean, this is really just about a 5-10 minute drive, just depending on traffic. I would love to see this place in spring. They've got the pickleball courts, tennis courts, everything that they have. And Harry Myers was like the mayor in 1949 around this area. So that's pretty good. He must have been a good guy to get a whole park named after him. But massive lake right in the middle, and swimming pools, splash pads. But they also have walking trails here. Of course, you can walk, you can hike and bike as much as you want around the area, paved areas, so that's nice. And there's an amphitheater for events and fishing ponds, so they got a lot of catch and release around here, so it's everything that you need. All right, so now we're going to head over to the Harbor District, which is one of the main commercial spots, especially for dining and everything. But we're on I-30, we're headed west, so going back towards Dallas right now. I want you to see how a lot of construction going on here in 30. This is probably the biggest downside to Rockwall. That and a proximity to the airport. I mean, if you're a frequent traveler, then it's a little bit of a challenge to get over to the airport. You could definitely account for at least an hour, maybe a little bit more depending on traffic. But right now they've got a lot of 30 torn up, and this creates some bottlenecks. We just hit a little bit of traffic running through there. Right now it's 11 o'clock in the morning, at a time when you shouldn't really be hitting traffic, but now it's kind of opening up. we're going to exit off towards the Harbor District, but you can see all the concrete barriers and all of the work they're doing. So hopefully, again, as they widen this up, that helps a little bit better with the flow of traffic. But I don't know, every time they widen a road and add more lanes, sometimes it feels like it doesn't get any better. It's still a challenge. But yeah, quite a bit of work through here extending Highway 30. And this is the main highway that goes over the lake. They do have the other highway that goes over the lake, but most people take 30, especially going into downtown Dallas.
I want to show you what also is coming to Rockwall, because when you see what they're building here, you're going to understand why this place is also exploding. We want to start with the biggest one, which is Rockwall Heights. So this is going to be a massive 65-acre mixed-use development at the northwest corner of I-30 and North Dodge Hill Road. And here's what's coming. They've got a small format IKEA store, and that's the first one like this in the entire Dallas-Fort Worth area, plus over 350,000 square feet of retail space, 485 townhomes and rental units, restaurants, and a green space amphitheater. And that's a game changer for Rockwall. All right, now another project is going to be Horizon Lakes. It's a brand new 900-acre master plan community that just broke ground, and they're planning 1,650 home sites in phase 1, with prices ranging from low 500s to over $2 million. And Horizon Lakes is going to feature hike and bike trails, a recreational lake, a lakeside amenity center, adult and children's pools, pickleball courts, an outdoor amphitheater, and a large gathering space for events. I mean, this is the future of lakeside living in Rockwall. And with 1,800 homes at full build out, there's no doubt that a lot of new families are going to move into the area. Then you've got Rockwall neighborhood shops opening in Q2 of 2026. So that's more prime real estate and commercial space coming online. And the industrial market here is part of the DFW industrial market, which has a vacancy rate of around 9.2%. So that tells you that businesses are investing in the region. And the infrastructure piece that ties it all together is the I-30, as we were just driving down, is getting a major expansion from Bass Pro Drive in Garland all the way to the Hunt County line. So they're widening it from 4 to 8 lanes, adding new frontage roads and frontage road bridges over Lake Ray Hubbard, and reconstructing interchanges. So that's going to be wrapped up by 2027 as far as the plan is right now. And of course, that should help out with making commuting just a little bit easier. And of course, that means that all the development you're seeing is really just the beginning. And they've also got a 550-acre technology park with land ready to go for advanced manufacturing, aerospace and defense, food processing, and packaging companies. And so Rockwall Economic Development Corporation is bringing in some serious businesses.
Now, as we head into the Harbor District, you'll notice apartment living. Some of these apartments up here on the second floor, gonna have some nice lake views. I'm sure they charge a little premium for that. You'll catch a glimpse of the lake. And then you have more apartments off in the distance, off to the right-hand side here. Those are definitely gonna have some nice lake views. And your walking distance to the Harbor District, even with the apartments back there, you could just come down here. Maybe you're a 5-minute walk, maybe 10 if you walk a little bit on the slower side. But you have Cinemark is a great place to go catch a movie. You got a couple of homes off on the left-hand side. Probably not too good of a water view. Most of these buildings kind of block that. And Campisi's Italian restaurant. You got Cold Stone Creamery, the Salon, Sweets and Spa. You've got Rodeo Goat. That's actually a pretty good spot. We usually go there when we come to the Harbor District because they got great burgers and fries. Amazing food as well. You got Gloria's. You got the Tobacco Shop in Fuego. Right, in Fuego. They got a lot of good spots over here. Good spots to grab a drink. Got a Hilton Hotel. All right, so if you want to come over here and grab a room. But Lake Ray Hubbard is like 22,000 acres. That's pretty massive. And you just pretty much got everything you need right inside here. All right, again, got a little lake view off on the back side, but we're pulling into Chandler's Landing right now. But it's one of the most prestigious neighborhoods in all of Rockwall. So 24-hour gated community. They started building homes back here in the 70s, and you got a lot of them just waterfront on Lake Ray Hubbard. But you got the privacy, right? Homes sit on private streets. That means the Google car can't get back there. No random cars driving through. I mean, again, 800 homes on the waterfront alone, plus condos inside the gates. So very private. And of course, it's really a community for people who love selling and being out on the water. But the homes are mostly custom builds from different decades. So you'll see everything from classic traditional styles to more modern designs. nothing really feels the same. And so that is what I really love about the older established communities. I mean, every house has its own little personality. But then you got to check out the marina. I mean, the Chandler's Landing Marina, it's full service setup, covered and uncovered boat slips from 20 to 60 feet. It offers a boat club. It's got rentals, fuel dock, pump out, a service center, private bathrooms for members. I mean, it's a pretty good setup, especially if you love the lake life, which you need to do that if you want to be here in Rockwall. But then you got the yacht club that's been hosting the Dallas Race Week since 1982, and they're part of the Yachting Clubs of America, which connects them to the big yacht clubs everywhere from San Diego to Annapolis and even up to Chicago. But you've also got a lot inside the neighborhood as well. Pools, tennis, little fishing ponds where you can actually catch and release. I've got some really nice walking trails that wind through the wooded areas. They got a fitness center. So pretty much everything you need right inside the gates. But of course, not everybody needs gated waterfront. You know, maybe you need something a little bit more affordable. So I'm going to take you back into a neighborhood, another neighborhood that is a little bit more interior. All right, so now we're pulling into Gideon Grove, and I wanted to just show you what one of these new construction communities looks like. You can see they're extending the road that way for another division down there. This one is a little bit more established on this section, but you'll see here these are some newer construction homes built within the last couple of years, and you can tell clearly new trees throughout all the front yards. And then look ahead and you've got some nice green space where you've got massive trees, area for little walking trails, sidewalks, a little pond there on top of that. But this one is a really nice little boutique community, you could say. Nothing fancy, no big swimming pools or anything like that, but of course you could always have that in your yard.
All right, stop number 8 is going to be Richardson, and probably the most surprising suburb on this list isn't the biggest or the flashiest. I mean, Richardson kind of stands out because of how much it offers without really trying to compete for attention. It's a massive underdog.
All right, now we're rolling into this first part, which is known as City Line. Now, this is definitely a much newer version of Richardson. You don't see mixed-use developments like this anywhere in Richardson, really. So this is one of the standouts here, but you can see much newer townhomes, apartments. Overall, this is about a $1.5 billion mixed-use development. Tons of units around here, office space, and they even have like the restaurant and retail, which I'm gonna get over on this side. But you can see all of the different apartment complexes they have just within this immediate area, which is pretty massive. And they've really designed this out to be very walkable. Everything you need right here in this main section. We'll kind of turn into this, which is kind of the anchor commercial of what you're seeing. And if you're going to be in this community, you'll notice as soon as we turn in, you've got a nice Whole Foods right there. So all of you granola people out there, it's okay. I'm granola-y as well. So I like some Whole Foods in my life. And Whole Foods Market, you've got Wells Fargo, basically pretty much everything you need right here. But this is all, very new. We've got Hollywood Feed for your animals, Massage Envy if you need a good massage, the Joint Chiropractic. That's pretty cool that you can get memberships there. I think they only charge like $80 a month and you get 4 visits a month, which is pretty inexpensive. You just want to make sure you stay regular, or you can buy packages if you need some regular adjustments. FedEx Office, they got City Line Dental Center, Fish City Grill, a little popular restaurant, Wildwood. You got your nail and spa, you got the med spa, Pilates, the streets, brunching, breakfast and lunch. You got some pho, got some pizza, got Prada, which is actually, Piata, Italian street food. I was about to say Prada food. I was thinking more like shoes. But overall, you can see, people out here walking around despite it's a little bit cooler today. Like I said, a little bit of an overcast, but still got people out here walking around. Looks like they're going to grab some Italian food. All right, we're going to cruise down State Street here real quick. I'm taking you right by the State Farm campus, which actually has really about 10,000 employees just at State Farm alone. You see, you got Oni Ramen, another ramen place. They got a little construction going on. Sushi, the Doko, good spot for sushi. And you can see, again, people just kind of walking around a little bit. And another nail spa. Yeah, I mean, if you need your nails done, there's no shortage of those around this area. But also you've got, what do we got there? Manny's. Oh, Mexican restaurant. That's a good little, that originated in Uptown. Elevated Coffee, the Brass Tap. That's a cool little craft beer place. You see you got a courtyard off to the left, spots to hang out. And you've got the Dart Line right here as well. And now we're gonna jump on 75 southbound, which was literally, I don't know, a block or two away from City Line right there. So you have very easy access to get to 75, which will take you straight into downtown. It'll also take you north through Plano and McKinney. And if you wanna venture into like the little historic downtown of McKinney, that's the best historic downtown of the northern suburbs. But also Plano's got a pretty good little historic downtown too. But that'll give you easy access to downtown Dallas right here on 75. And as we get ready to merge onto the highway, you're gonna see why Richardson is really its own city, a major tech hub. It's actually one of the biggest in the US as far as concentration of tech that you may not even be aware of. I mean, you got like Samsung, AT&T, you got Verizon, Cisco, all operating. You can start to see the high rises over on the left-hand side there. I remember back in the day, Nokia had massive campus here right off of 75, but otherwise you got Texas Credit Union over there. I mean, just a big concentration throughout all of these buildings for those tech jobs. And Richardson is kind of known for that. TI was a big part of this too, on the southern side of Richardson. Texas Instruments, one of the biggest chip makers in the country, if not the world. Now we're moving into Canyon Creek Estates, one of the most popular neighborhoods in Richardson. Right over to the left is University of Texas at Dallas is what they call it, University of Texas. So UT Longhorns, but the Dallas campus. Now I'm just gonna turn down one of these streets just to show you, first of all, massive trees everywhere you can see. But what you'll notice is the older housing stock. Again, most of these homes all throughout Richardson are gonna be just like this, old ranch style, a little mix of maybe some the colonial, traditional brick. I mean, just, let me clean off the windshield there for you real quick. Getting a little rain as we come through here. But you'll see these, just a lot of the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s ranch style homes. That was whenever really Richardson came into its own. You know, the ranch style homes, the problem with those is I just don't feel like they have a ton of character in them. Now, when they get remodeled, it's a little bit more my style. You'll find some true, authentic mid-century moderns scattered throughout here. You might see some new construction. We just passed a really small community. Maybe it was about a block that looked like it had maybe 20 to 30 new construction homes inside there. But again, look at these trees. They're just massive everywhere. Now I can tell this home off to the left, they got some updated fencing. Usually if you have some painted brick, you might find something. This one off to the right is more new construction. Clearly I can tell that one's probably been built within the last 5 or 10 years. This one directly in front of us is a newer build. So this is where you'll find some infill opportunities. This is, looks like they probably added that porch on. It still looks like a brick style home, but maybe they added the porch, unless they just built this from scratch, maybe 15 years ago. That would be my initial guess. You got the golf course, as we cruise through the golf course. You got the country club is in here. So that's another one of these older established communities with the country club, with the golf course. Beautiful golf course, by the way. Lots of green space. You got another community. That looks like it's got some really nice mid-century moderns. Actually, I'm gonna bust a quick little Yui. This neighborhood looks like it's prime and full of mid-century moderns. Like this one directly in front of us. That's definitely got that little bit of that look. Some just unique housing stock. You know, you don't see this everywhere. Now these are a little bit close together in here. Kind of a little tight fit, but again, look at the landscaping, these yards, the trees, and they got some of the little brick homes mixed in here. So it's just interesting to kind of see. All right, so now we're pulling up. We actually have University of Texas at Dallas to the left-hand side. I'm gonna turn down this first street here because this neighborhood kind of borders UTD, but you'll see as we turn into Cottonwood Creek Estates here. This is just a small little section right next to Canyon Creek and two of the more popular neighborhoods in Richardson. But you'll just notice, first of all, we've got ranch style homes, 70s, 80s, 90s, some 50s and 60s. You might find some with more of the mid-century modern look. I love mid-century modern homes, some of my favorites, but they also got to be, you know, done well. You'll notice all the landscaping, massive trees, bigger yards, bigger lots. I mean, look at these trees. They're just humongous. You're not going to find this up in Prosper or Celina, promise you that. But you can see beautiful landscaping everywhere. The magnolia trees are all blooming. But you can see here, this one's kind of got a little of a mid-century feel. Nah, not too much. That's more like a 70s home, but just the way they had it laid out. But you'll see some of these traditional brick, more ranch style. As far as I know, there's no HOA in here when you get into these older neighborhoods. Overall, most people are taking care of their yards. This one, they kind of that's like a Spanish ranch style right there. That's unique. But again, just to give you a little idea of what these homes look like. Again, just these huge trees coming everywhere. This is like shade all over the place.
All right, stop number 9 is going to be Allen, and Allen is the kind of town where the whole community really shows up under the lights on a Friday night. I mean, Friday night lights is the real deal. And once you see the stadium that they built for it, you'll understand why.
All right, so we just came off of 121 and we're headed 75 south. And of course, 75 is gonna cut right through Allen. We're pretty much in Allen as of right now. We're gonna make the first stop, which is going to be the Allen Outlet Mall. Actually, this whole intersection is just premium shopping on both sides of the highway. But overall, let's see, you got rooms to go right there, so you can get all your furniture. And then you're going to come into the Allen Outlet Malls, and that's where, of course, you're going to find everything you need whenever it comes to all the good stuff at a really good price. But you can come in here and easily spend the day, no problem. They've got, you see, whenever you come into this section, they actually have this little playground area, like this whole choo-choo train playground area set up for the kids. It's a good little spot if you need to expend some energy with the kiddos, but they got everything you need. We got Champs, we got Columbia, we got Samsonite. Samsonite, I was way off. Those of you that know. Skechers, I mean, they got Nike, Banana Republic, Hugo Boss, J. Crew, Chubbies, New Balance. As we cruise through this whole section, and actually right across the highway, they've got the Villages of Allen, which this whole section right here, right off of Stacy Road and 75, you just have mass retail shopping. All right, so now we're just gonna go westbound on Stacy Road here for a minute. I mean, you can see now it kind of, the commercial side starts to get a little sparse here as we move into more of the residential on this side. You'll see you got apartments, some residential neighborhoods. You got this little neighborhood, Star Creek. That's definitely one of the more popular neighborhoods. You see they've got a community center. It looks like they've got the tennis courts, basketball court, a pool on that side. And then whenever you come into the neighborhood, you're gonna see a lot of these homes built in the 90s and 2000s. You'll notice, first of all, massive trees through these established neighborhoods. And a lot of this rock and brick mixture. I would say Allen really took advantage of that little, I'd say that's kind of like a Texas look, you know, kind of the combination of the brick and the rock facades. But you'll see, again, these are a little bit of the smaller homes, you'd say, kind of packed in on the front end, but you will find some much larger homes inside of here. People out here mowing the yard, grass is green. We got a little bit of an overcast today, but again, just being right here off of 75, very convenient to get to downtown Dallas, and no tolls on 75. That's what a lot of people like living over on this side of the Metroplex versus being off the tollway. I mean, if you're in the main parts of Frisco or Prosper or Celina, I mean, the tollway is going to be probably one of your main thoroughfares. Here you can see they got walking trails that go off and run off into the woods back through there. You got some people out here walking, pushing the kiddos in the stroller, so nice wide paved trails throughout the whole neighborhood. This is a community by Southgate, And you can kind of see the main model home right there kind of goes for a little bit more of that traditional farmhouse look, that at least on that model. But as you come through, you see you still got lots. Well, there's one available. These lots have sold, and you'll see the new construction homes, the different elevations. All of these are brand new, built within the last year, or there's still options to get some lots in here and build your own. With Southlake, it's going to be kind of like semi-custom almost. I mean, they're going to have their floor plans. You might be able to make a couple of structural changes here or there, not too many. It looks like they got a little community center there with the playground, and this is, I would just call this more of like a boutique community here, because that's almost about it. We almost drove around the whole thing. They've got a little bit of the smaller homes, but you're going to find probably 2,500 up to 4,000 square feet in this particular neighborhood. So you'll see a couple of homes that look like the old craftsman's style. Then you got some of the brick traditional, it looks like. You got mostly the brick facades coming through here. There's a couple of available lots. All right, so now we're rolling into Twin Creeks, which is one of the more established neighborhoods in Allen. And once again, you'll just notice massive trees everywhere. Let me just turn down this first street, which is a little cul-de-sac, but again, you got a little of this rock and brick facades going on with these homes. Really, again, they definitely look 20 to 25 years old to me, but at the same time, I think they got a little bit of a character on there. I mean, a lot of these kind of like Texas traditional is how I would describe them when they use that rock and brick combination. Kind of gives you a little bit of that, at least that in the city Texas feel, but yeah, something like that looks good. And if they've updated these homes on the inside, would make them even really nice. But you'll see, you're going to be ranging in here too. On the smaller side, maybe 2,500 square feet, larger side up to 4,000, maybe 5,000 depending on the lot. But looks like they got a little party going on over here. But again, you'll see just a little bit of that older stock with these homes, but everybody's got really nice landscaping, mature landscaping. I mean, this is just pretty impossible to duplicate in the new construction communities. In here, they've got this massive park inside here in Country Club. So this is really nice. But you'll see all the cars off to the right here for this area inside of Twin Creeks right there. So just to give you a little idea, they've got the whole clubhouse going on with the golf course right here and everything that you need. So that's really nice to have within your community as well. All right, now this is one of the other little cool spots of Allen is Water Creeks Village. This is definitely a cool little walkable area. You got shops, restaurants, kind of a little bit more of that, old style feel. You see you've got Panera Bread, Mi Casina, a couple of your little local chains around here. I guess Panera is nationwide or whatnot, but they've got a really cool little playground area right here in the middle for the kiddos. And see, they got the Shade Store, they've got Warby Parker, Bath and Body Works, Lululemon, your normal spots that you'll have. But it just, again, you see the larger trees throughout here, and I love these crepe myrtles. They blossom all through the summertime. So it's a really good Texas summer tree.
All right, stop number 10 is going to be Plano, and Plano is home to some of the biggest company names in the country, but it's still held on to something growing suburbs tend to lose along the way. Now, breaking news, the Dallas Star has just announced that they are most likely headed to Plano in the shops at Willow Bend area. That whole district is getting redesigned, and now it's probably going to take another turn to get redesigned to house the Star Stadium. That could happen around 2030. But something to keep in mind too if you're looking to buy in this area. But that balance kind of shows where the whole region is heading, and we got 2 more stops to go to bring this all together.
All right, now we're heading east on 15th Street into historic downtown Plano. You can see off to the left, there's a nice park area you can hang out. One of my favorite spots down here is this farmer's market right off to the right, especially during peach season. I don't know exactly when that is, but I imagine during the summer. The last time I was in there, you walk in there and the peaches, the smell of it just hits you. It's quite nice. Now we're running over the red brick. Some of these are original red brick streets here. They've, of course, done a lot of renovation because this dates back to the early 1900s, late 1800s as far as historic downtown Plano. You'll see all the red brick facades. You know, a lot of these buildings are really old. You've got the Fillmore Pub if you want to grab a drink. You've got some sushi off to the left. You have Urban Crust, the pizza place. You got Lemma Coffee, which is one of my favorite spots for coffee in the Metroplex. To the right is Better Than Sex. Yes, you heard that correctly. That is a unique dessert dining experience. I think they only open up at like 6 or 7 or 8 p.m. I think they're open from like 8 to 11. So they're going after that, the late crowd there a little bit. Anyways, you've got some cafes, you've got the Cocoa Beach. I would say downtown Plano is a good half-day experience. I mean, you could probably drag it out a little bit if you wanted a full day, but definitely come for some brunch. If you wanted to grab some drinks, you could do that at brunch or hit up a couple of the little pubs around here. But that was it. That block area was the main portion of this. It kind of scatters a little bit throughout. And over on this side, you got a tattoo shop. You've got another restaurant, and then you've got 1418 Coffee, which again, that's another one of my favorite coffee spots from around town. This one's really cool just because it's in a really old building, so the interior of that is really nice. And then you'll see how they've built up quite a bit of this. A lot of this is new development, so they've kind of made it look a little older, kind of blending in with the downtown area. But you got Uni Sushi right there, a couple more little shops scattered throughout here and restaurants. And then on the other side of this, I saw they've got some more shops and restaurants that will hit up. But otherwise, this is kind of the main strip through old downtown 14th and 15th Street. If you just venture off just a couple of blocks from here, you'll be in some residential neighborhoods. And you got the DART rail station right here. This is kind of the last stop on the DART rail. You know, so if you're living in the suburbs and you don't want to commute to downtown Dallas, this is, Plano's kind of like the last stop. You can get on and hit it. Now they just opened up the Silver Line as well, where you could actually take a straight shot on the DART line to get over to the airport. All right, so I'm just gonna take you down a little straight here to show you what you can get for really in the high 200s, low 300 price range. Like I said, a lot of these are gonna be 60s, 70s, and 80s ranch style homes, single family, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Some of them, if they're on the higher 300s, they're going to likely have some updates inside. A lot of these are gonna be move-inable, I guess you could say. You can move in if you want. If you want to be on that lower price range, you know, you can come to this east side of Plano. You're going to find quite a bit of that. Still have some pretty good schools as well. And then as you move towards the west side, that's where homes just tend to go up, and you see a little bit more new construction, but like I said, that's a little bit more infill. All right, now we're rolling down West Park. We're just going west. I'm gonna take you into this neighborhood, which again, you're gonna find the old housing stock, but these homes are a step up. This is gonna put you in the $600,000 range if you wanna be an established neighborhood in Plano. And you can see homes, they definitely look a lot better. And then also look at these trees throughout. I mean, trees in the front yard are just massive. I mean, these are 40, 50-year-old trees, you can just tell. But that would give you a quick idea of what you would find in an established neighborhood in Plano, $600,000 range. Let me see, actually I'll show you. For example, one of these homes, this says 3-bedroom, 3-bath. So that's probably a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath, 2,500 square feet. $650. That puts the price per square foot right around $254, which is not bad. But again, built in 1982. I think a lot of those homes are going to be more in the 4-bedroom range as well. All right, now we're going to be coming up on Preston Road. You can see already how the landscaping, you know, the trees, the retail around here. Oh, Blue Goose Cantina. That's a really great Tex-Mex spot right there. Maybe we should eat there. Right here, you can see a little bit more of the, it's still a little bit of the older strip mall styles, but it just has a different upkeep about it because you really kind of start hitting the money side when it comes over here. You got a Cowboys Fit. Oh, that's a gym. Cowboys Fit, they got a real fancy one. I'm not sure about this one in Plano. I've never been inside that, but the Cowboys Fit in Frisco at the Cowboys headquarters is super fancy pants. Really nice. And then I imagine that one is probably nice. But man, they got everything over here. You could definitely shop till you drop. You could spend the day just going on each section, intersection. You could go over to that quadrant, this quadrant, you know, the northeast side, the southwest side. But you need your car to get around here too. And notice how, I mean, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're 6 lanes in the middle of a suburb right now on a 6-lane road. Now, that includes a couple of turn-in lanes, but still, you got 4 lanes right in the middle and a lot of action going on. All right, now we're still cruising down Park. We're heading west. Now we're in between Preston and the Tollway, and I'm gonna cut in real quick to this neighborhood, which is Willow Bend Lakes. So you can find properties in here in the low $1 million range. And again, just to kind of give you an idea of what that will get you. I mean, first of all, look at, again, massive trees everywhere. Still old housing stock, but you're gonna, I mean, look at this house. I mean, beautiful yard. It's got like a pond in its backyard. And there is actually a home over here. We'll drive right by it, listed at 1.3. Just to give you an idea, it's 4 bedrooms, 4 bath, 3,762 square feet. Yeah, $359 a square foot. So you're gonna get up in the price per square foot range, especially if you have Willow Bend in the name. But we'll go cruise by that one real quick and then just drive down the street. But again, you can see you're just right off the main road, right down the street from all the shopping, minutes to the tollway on the other side. And here it is. It just looks like a single-story ranch home. A lot of a similar look, but all very different. And of course, people are gonna keep their homes up nice and neat in these neighborhoods. Everyone's beautifully manicured. This is gonna have an HOA, so what they do, I don't know. But they probably just tell you what to do. Look at these massive trees in this front yard. I mean, massive trees everywhere. Look at these crepe myrtles in full bloom. I love those. And again, 1.3 will get you good size, 3,500, maybe 4,000 square feet. Some of these homes in here are gonna go to 1.5, 2 million. Just kind of depends. All right, so as we're going down Park again, we're kind of cutting through right in the middle of Glen Eagles Country Club. It's kind of on both sides. This is the premier country club. You got some really nice golf course throughout here. Very expensive country club to get into as well. But it's a beautiful golf course right here in the West Plano area. And then I want to go into Willow Bend because this neighborhood is just iconic when it comes to Plano. And as soon as you turn in, of course, again, massive trees everywhere, massive estates. And I was just looking, I just did a quick look. There's nothing for sale in here right now, which is really interesting. Now, again, a lot of these homes built in the 70s, 80s, but they are massive. And then you'll find, looks like right exactly what I'm talking about here, where they tore something down and they're building a beautiful modern transitional, fits in with the neighborhood. This could easily be an $8 million home, but man, I didn't even see any of these older homes up for sale as of right now. But you're talking like half-acre lots, maybe even an acre, sometimes 2 inside of here. Anyways, beautiful neighborhood. It's amazing. Now we're gonna go up the tollway. We're gonna hit up Legacy West. All right, so now we're kind of hitting up the north side of Plano. You can see off in the distance, we start to hit the high rises and the, I wouldn't call them skyscrapers, but just the high rises. You'll see a lot of businesses. This is where you kind of really get into the concentration of where a lot of corporations are making their move into the North Dallas area. They're moving into this very far north side of Plano, which is right on the Plano-Frisco border. And you've got some pretty major corporations all running throughout here. JP Morgan Chase, Frito-Lay, Liberty Mutual, many more throughout here. But we're also gonna cut through and hit up Legacy West. Over to the right side though is Shops at Legacy. And it's a good work, live. I mean, you're gonna rent if you try to live in one of these apartments around here, but otherwise there's some corporations tied to this area. And then you come over to this side and we've got Legacy West. And this really kind of reshaped this area as far as when it came to shopping and dining and hanging out. You've got a Del Frisco there, which is a nice steakhouse. We got the Renaissance Hotel, but you come down this main street and we come here We spend a few Saturdays here. Got Bula, tapas. You got, you got the Nike store, Aritza. You've got Toulouse. You've got Earl's Kitchen and Bar. That's a good little lunch spot and actually dinner spot too. We came over here had lunch the other day. It was really nice. Yeah, like I said, you got the Nike store, you got the Levi store, you got Tacovas. Tacovas, by the way, an amazing Western store, handmade here in Texas. And that's where you got to get you a pair of boots, by the way. And when you walk by, you have to go in just because the leather smell, it comes out on the street. It's amazing. The leather's so intense in there. Tommy Bahama's, even the Tommy Bahama restaurant. It's funny, I didn't even know Tommy Bahama had a restaurant until we got invited there a couple of months ago, actually, for dinner. They're like, let's eat at the Tommy Bahama restaurant. I was like, okay, all right, learn something new every day. And Rolex, and then you got the Levi store, and the Tacova store. So you got a little mix, Cava, and then you got some high-end like North Italia. You got True Food Kitchen, Lululemon. I mean, basically everything. You could definitely spend a day here getting some shopping done, getting snacks, and then at the end is Legacy Hall, and that's a really cool spot because it's got about 20 indoor food options to pick from, so it's really great for groups, or with family, or you got a bunch of people that can't decide what to do or eat. All right, we're cruising west on Midway, and we're about to go into one of Plano's top neighborhoods, which is Shoal Creek. And again, once you come in here, probably 1.5 is a good starting point within here. You might find something a little bit less, but again, kind of the 80s style and 90s style homes that a lot of these have been updated. Beautiful landscaping everywhere. This one's gated up ahead, right at the end. I mean, that's a massive house right there. I got a nice little pond feature off to the left side of it. This little park area. And again, you'll just notice all the massive trees. This is just what you're gonna find pretty much through all the Plano neighborhoods.
All right, stop number 11 is gonna be Melissa. And just a few years ago, Melissa was in open land with nothing around it for several miles. Now you got an HEB, you've got a Walmart, you've got a Buc-ee's, and it's growing super fast as one of the fastest growing cities in the country.
All right, so we're all coming off of 75, headed northbound and exiting onto 121. Immediately off to the left, you're gonna see the massive HEB. Actually, I grew up in Stephenville, Texas. It's about 2 hours south of Dallas, real country town, rodeo town. Actually, more dairy farms and rodeo champions than anywhere else in the world. Number one. We had the HEB at least 35 years ago. It was a small store, very small grocery store, HEB. I don't even know, I wouldn't say it's the first one in Texas, but it might've been the second or third. It's just a small thing. And now it's like a true Texas grocery store. It's massive. They've got a whole barbecue restaurant inside there. Sometimes they do live entertainment. The wine selection is amazing. They've got all the food you could imagine in there. It's got a lot going on in there. They even have some shopping and stuff you can buy. It's just like anything else. It's just overly done. Kind of like this little gas station, Racetrack. Racetrack used to be kind of like a big thing. Then you got Starbucks, Chipotle, Chick-fil-A. So you got probably the three most important restaurants you need in Melissa. So you should be able to function just fine. You got HEB, Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, and yeah, Starbucks. Although I would come over here to George's. I think just George's Coffee is right there. But now we're gonna head up. This is kind of like 121. And of course, 121's a pretty major tollway running through when you start in McKinney, going through Frisco and the Colony, Little Elm, all that area. So this is like the end or the extension of 121, which is not really tolled, but I'm sure at some point, I don't know what they'll do here. But right now it's like just a nice little 2-lane highway running through Melissa. But you'll see a lot of open space over here. And they just opened this up too. Now they opened up the Super Walmart that came online. All right, so it looks like we got Golden Chick, Taco Bell, Wingstop, McDonald's, Brahms. I mean, really just a lot of fast food, CVS, Wendy's. Man, you're gonna have to go to the gym. Hopefully there's some gyms over here with all this fast food. Kroger, that's another grocery store. That looks looks pretty new and pretty good size as well. Now I want to go through and drive through this community, Liberty, which is one of the main master plan communities. We passed up Meadow Run was back there. That's a new community with some new construction. You're gonna find a lot of new construction, of course. So we're gonna cruise in here. This is Liberty. This is one of the better known master plan communities coming in, a little bit more established. So as far as new construction in this area, a little bit few and far between. You're going to find more established neighborhoods. You can tell by all the trees in here that you're going to have some older housing stock if you want to get in. So if you want something a little bit more established, kind of like this, then this is a good spot for that. But otherwise, they've got a lot of master plan communities scattered throughout the rest of the area and the outskirts. But this is a really good look at a very established neighborhood. I mean, over off to the right, you got the playgrounds, the splash pads, and the pool area. I mean, that looks like a lot of fun over there. You got the clubhouse going on. Kids already there hanging out at the pool. You got the pavilion, do some picnics and all that other good stuff. And then you've got the elementary school inside of here, which is nice. Again, this is Liberty. And then, yeah, the school system over here is pretty good. Of course, all the schools, all the high schools here in North Dallas area are just massive. Crazy what they are building. These stadiums got some nice water features, walking trails all throughout. Really nice area. Then over off to the left, you got Melissa Lake Park, and a really nice area. Trails all throughout there. Lots of parking spaces out there. It looks like they've got a really cool playground area. And then Alex was just saying whenever he was back in his Ironman days, which he's retired now, he would come over here and run because it's got a pretty good trail or paved area all around the little lake area. Get a little scenery, a little good vibe going in there. Then you got the other master plan community, Meadow Run, as I was mentioning. That's another good one, which also doesn't have any mud or PID taxes, which is really nice. Because if you come in here to Melissa and Anna and these northern suburbs, you want to be mindful of that, is that a lot of these will have mud or PID taxes. Mud is municipal. It's always hard for me to say that word, municipal utility district, or PID is a public improvement district, and basically that's the developers passing on infrastructure and roads and water and things like that. They're passing that on to you as the buyer. So usually it's minimal. I say minimal because it could still be an extra $200, $300, $400 a month, you know, and that's usually over a 20 or 30 year period. So the extent of your mortgage, or if you even plan to stay there for the long run, I mean, you could pay that mud or PID for quite some time. So it's just something to keep in mind. Or if you find a community like Meadow Run that doesn't include that, well, it's nice. Save you a few bucks. If we get back into the schools, I just wanted to give you some exact stats and data on the schools. Dallas-Fort Worth ranks it as the 13th best school district in the Metroplex, ranked number 30 in the state of Texas, number 11 for best school district for student athletes, really well known for Friday Night Lights. But they also got an A rating from niche.com and Texas Education Agency, and then right now they have over 7,700 students. They've got the phase 3 of that high school expansion they just completed, and they just added a career and technical education wing and international baccalaureate wing, and a massive student union, and a 2,000 seat multi-purpose indoor arena. All that's just been added. They got a brand new campus. They opened the Highland Elementary and the East Cardinal Middle School. That's a 220,000 square foot facility for about 1,200 students. And then 2026, 2027, they will be converting the old 6th grade center into its 6th elementary campus, and that'll be Cardinal Renaissance Academy. So they've got quite a bit going on. All right, now we're gonna take you to downtown historic Melissa, which is really amazing, by the way. It is this block right here. You got the Church of Christ. You have the, what is that, fitness? Little gym. You have Farmers Insurance. You got another dentist, and K. Marie Boutique, and a salon, and, oh, Buffalo Joe's? What's that?
Barbershop.
New little, oh, sounded like a cool bar. Buffalo Joe's Barbershop. There you go. But that's a new building, and it looks nice. All right, that was downtown Melissa. Historic downtown. And you see, of course, what they're building up with everywhere else. Now, a couple of other communities to keep an eye on. Mulraney Ranch, that can give you a pretty good commute to McKinney or downtown Dallas. It's a newer master plan community, but they've got a clubhouse, they've got resort style pool, they've got playgrounds, they got hiking and biking trails, all the standard stuff. Union Main Homes is a builder in there. K. Hovanian is a builder inside there, to name a few. They start out in like the 300s, and that's the thing. You can get into Melissa and find some new construction homes in the 300s. Like I said, median price is really around 450, 480 in the area, but of course you're gonna find minimum 300 on new construction all the way up to 800,000, 900,000 maxed out. You don't find a lot of new construction properties here over $1 million, if any, really. I mean, they pretty much stay under $1 million. Another community to think about is South Meadow, and that's gonna be off of 121, and it's really good if you plan to commute to Frisco or Plano, so that makes it easy to get there.
All right, and stop number 12 is going to be Anna, and this just really shows you that there's a lot of room to grow in the Dallas area. I mean, we're not landlocked or waterlocked, so the Metroplex will just continue to grow outward. Eventually, we'll be connected to Oklahoma at some point, but Anna right now is kind of considered the farthest north suburb. You could go a little bit farther, but if you really want to kind of still be considered somewhat in, the Dallas area, that would be Anna.
You'll see as we're coming in, we got a lot of open land, still a lot of farm. They're going to be hitting quite a bit of development coming in here. And then right off of this road, actually we'll be coming up to in a minute, will be one of the most anticipated master plan communities coming into Anna, which is going to be Shirley Farms. They just broke ground, but nothing's going to be open probably till next year as far as model homes. And I haven't looked into the sales center as of just yet to see when they plan to open that up. That'll probably be early next year as well. So they've got a lot of groundwork to do, infrastructure, but it's gonna be 970 acres. So think about that. It's gonna be right there, just right outside of the downtown area of Anna. And actually they're gonna have a 65-acre working farm in the middle of it. So think about getting some fresh produce. I guess that's how they're gonna work it. But they're also gonna have 150 acres of open space. Actually, I looked it up here, it says this is gonna be the first major wellness and agri-hood community. They're gonna have Highland Homes, Perry Homes, Drees, Bloomfield, Olivia Clark. Oh yeah, spring of 2027. So that's whenever the first model home should be opening up. But that's just something to kind of keep on the radar. That'll be coming up pretty soon. And here we're gonna do a quick look into Leonard Trails. This is a newer master plan community that they're building in right now. Got the nice new roads, the fresh landscaping, and they got a lot of build opportunities. But when you get up here, you're gonna hit a lot of similarities, I would say, through a lot of these communities. So it really kind of comes down to proximity. And this is Anna Town Square, which right there we've got Pulte Homes. This is gonna be a pretty good sized master plan community here too. They've got Century. We've got Windsor, 600 acres and almost a city within a city is what they're gonna be naming this one. Heavily focused on family and lifestyle convenience, multiple resort style pools, massive playground and amenity center, miles of integrated walking trails. You'll see they've already got quite a few homes popped up around here. Some people living in them already, and plenty more to build. They're gonna have on-site elementary school, which will be Harlow Elementary, and a middle school allowing kids to walk to class without ever leaving the neighborhood. So that's gonna be a good draw. But again, you come into these brand new communities, less than mature landscaping, small trees. Somebody's about to go walk the dog. That's always nice. It's always good to see when you're in the community, people walking around and walking the dogs and walking the kids. Just lets you know that probably got a good vibe going on there. Look at this. Looks like they got the little playground area over there overall. And you got a few of the builders to choose from. Pulte, Bloomfield, DR Horton, Windsor. This is mostly gonna be between the $300,000 to $500,000 range. So pretty good pricing. All right, but we're gonna take a right on, or head north on 5. There's a Sonic. Again, they always get in all the fast food. The Liquor Den, smoke and hookah. Gotta make sure you have all the necessities. Smoke, hookah, liquor, and Sonic right there. Nice new fire department. Well, that's a big fire department, man. Central Fire Station of Anna, wow. And then we're gonna make a little right-hand turn and check out old downtown Anna. You got the beauty salon, Isabel's, and then this is Anna right here. About it, this block. We got, Kalamaki, Greek eatery. We've eaten there once or twice. It's actually pretty good. So if you like some Greek food, that's a good spot to go. Got another barber shop, got another salon, got a country cafe, Crow's Country Cafe, and there you go, that was it. And there's Shirley and Bro, that's nice. And I guess, and that's Shirley, what Shirley Farms is gonna be based off that. Oh, beech nut, huh? Sliced bacon, interesting. Nice little playground here for the downtown area. And then you got kind of like your little flagship old Victorian style house, although that looks like either that's been restored really well or they built that in the last 20 years. Oh, look at that fancy building in the middle of Anna. Wow, that's very, very modern look there for Anna. Another new community to keep an eye on too would be Meta Vista. So that's gonna be between 75 and 121. And it's more of a tight-knit community feel. They got a community pool, a pool house. They've got the play areas. They got natural trails, nature trails, everything that you need to go throughout. All right, we do a quick drive through by Anna High School, and their admin building is fancy. Look at that. And high school has about 6,000 students. It's got a B rating from niche.com. They got the stadium, and look at this, the old famous splash pad. Apparently our wives like to bring the kids out here, so it's worth the little trip. It's called Slater Creek Park. And they said this is a really good splash pad. Oh, little pump track right there, skate park. That's cool. Let the kids come out here and skateboard, and then look at that. Wow. They got a lot going on there. Look at that splash pad. That looks like fun. Kids all running throughout there, having a good time. It's pretty good, and it's free. All right, now we're kind of hitting the newer development section of Anna. Got a Fit Body Boot Camp, Dennis, of course, right next to Cold Stone Creamery. Hot Works, liquor store, Happy Feet, Pizza Hut, another Pizza Hut. But not in the old iconic building like we grew up in the 80s. Tex-Mex, Cleaners, Donut Shop. You got West Crossing, the community here. Bloomfield doing some of their final phases throughout there. But I think we're gonna cruise over to Villages of Hurricane Creek. That's probably one of the more popular neighborhoods in Anna. You'll see a lot of these newer buildings. So we got a Brahms, Scooters Coffee. And then we should be coming up on 75 here in a minute. But you can see a lot of these are newer buildings. Big old car wash over there, 7-Eleven. What is that, a bank right there? You see the roads, they've just redone the roads. You got double lanes going each way. You know, we're just kind of cruising down the hill. You see, when we get up in this North Dallas area, we do hit a little bit of elevation changes throughout, little hills here and there throughout Melissa, Anna, Celina, some of those parts. They've done nice with the landscaping in the middle of the roads here. And again, just more commercial, Walgreens, KFC, Salsa, Tex-Mex, Great Clips, AT&T. All right, now we just crossed over 75. We're gonna hit up Villages at Hurricane Creek right here and go in this community. And they're still building a little bit in here, but they've got a lot going on. So lots of green space and the sidewalks and trails running throughout the community. We did a couple of model home tours here, maybe 2 years ago when it was kind of just first coming online, but you'll get a little good idea rolling through here. Again, kind of your standard master plan community. This is First Texas Homes. Got their model home right there, which was really nice. Pretty sure we toured that one. And yeah, another First Texas Homes. Looks like they might have sold these because these were all models last time we rolled through here. So that means First Texas and Beezer, they might be doing their closeout phases right now. So it could be last chances to bop over here into Villages at Hurricane Creek.
And there you have it. So the right choice really comes down to how you want to live. You know, a family that loves Prosper might feel kind of boxed in around Uptown, and someone who wants the city energy may feel too far out in Prosper. Now, if you've watched these 12 stops and still aren't sure which one fits, go ahead, shoot me a text or give me a call or schedule a Zoom call right here. We'd be happy to talk about you, your particular situation, your timeline, everything that's going on in your life. That's why we love to have the individual conversations to really see if this is going to be a good fit for you and your family. Now, if you're getting relocated, you don't really have a choice, but you do have a choice on where you live. And that's very important because there's so many options around Dallas and Fort Worth. You don't want to pick the wrong spot. So we can help you navigate that. We've done that with over 550 families in the last 5 years alone as the #1 relocation team here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So reach out. We'd be happy to help you out, and hopefully we'll get to show you around town.